The most significant free agent available for 2024 is Lewis Hamilton. However, this term needs to be used with care. Could we, however, see Hamilton moving? Contract extensions have historically been a reasonably quick and easy process because of the nature of the relationship between Hamilton and Mercedes. They once held off on announcing his new contract until the winter, even though the 2021 campaign would start the following month. Toto Wolff, CEO of Mercedes, and Hamilton's management team have been in talks for a while, and they are now coming to an end. "I don't want to give you a date," Wolff explained following the Belgian Grand Prix. "It's lawyers speaking to lawyers. It's no material things anymore. But you have to give it time." Even while both sides refuted rumors linking Hamilton to Ferrari around Monaco, a renewal was always likely. The only question is how long it will take. Hamilton would be employed by Mercedes for a further 2 years, keeping him there until he turned 40. Hamilton exudes a lack of urgency and concern for the situation. Recent press inquiries about updates have been dismissed by him, who has insisted there are none to offer, but that everything would be completed when it is ready. And so there won't be a switch to Ferrari after all? Leo Torini, an Italian journalist, claims that Lewis Hamilton was politely denied a Ferrari contract offer by Ferrari president John Elkann. Despite repeated claims that a deal is imminent between Hamilton and Toto Wolff, whose contract with Mercedes expires at the end of the current season, nothing has materialized 6 months later. The reasons for the delay have been the subject of media speculation, with theories ranging from cost to duration to an ambassadorial position. Other commentators have suggested that Hamilton should seize the opportunity to leave Mercedes. So, even though Lewis Hamilton has not yet signed a contract extension with Mercedes, Formula One pundit Lawrence Barretto thinks the deal will be finalized when, not if. Although a written agreement has not yet been inked, Hamilton and his Mercedes team have verbally agreed to prolong their Formula One partnership. Although Hamilton has denied rumors linking him to a transfer to Ferrari, there are still some questions because a new Mercedes contract has supposedly been close to being finalized for months. The fact that Lewis Hamilton is still affiliated with Mercedes is really a formality. Mercedes has failed to win the championship in F1 2023 for the second year in a row, and McLaren has joined them in the battle for the P2 spot among the best of the rest teams, which also includes Aston Martin and Ferrari. Barretto thinks Hamilton will continue to back Mercedes as the team that can reach its full potential, despite the fact that Hamilton has made it clear that a record 8th world championship is his goal. The best seat still technically available for 2024 sits at Mercedes alongside George Russell. But in reality, it's a matter of when, rather than if, Lewis Hamilton finally puts pen to paper to keep it in his possession and extend his stay at the Silver Arrows, Barretto wrote in his piece for the Formula One website. Neither Mercedes boss Toto Wolff nor Hamilton appear stressed by the amount of time it is taking to get a new deal over the line. They've both said that the key terms, including money and length of the arrangement, have been agreed. It's just, as Wolff puts it, trivial things that need to be cleaned up in the contract before it all gets signed off. Hamilton has left it late to sign a new deal in the past. It wasn't until the eve of preseason in 2021 that he inked a 1-year extension to race in that upcoming campaign. Just 6 months later, he penned a new 2-year deal, taking him up to the end of 2023. The 38-year-old reckons he can race on for at least another 5 years, the Briton believing he still has what it takes to win a record 8th world championship. And having spent his whole career with the Mercedes family, from backing and karting to making his F1 debut with the Mercedes-powered McLaren team to spending the last decade with the Works outfit, it's more than likely he'll continue with the Silver Arrows for the foreseeable. Martin Brundle, a former driver, has urged Hamilton to move to Ferrari and do a Michael Schumacher, while former Formula One team president Eddie Jordan believes Hamilton and Ferrari would be a match made in heaven. Ferrari appears to be moving, as President John Elkann personally suggested a deal to Hamilton. On his blog, Torini wrote, "Elkann had personally approached Hamilton. I believe he kindly replied, 'No thanks.' And regrettably, you can comprehend it." However, according to Automotor and Sport, Elkann is not the only Ferrari team member to have spoken to Hamilton about a red car appearance. Speaking to the German publication about Hamilton's protracted contract dispute, Michael Schmidt said he doesn't remember a contract renewal for Hamilton that happened from one day to the next, but in the end, it has always been published. The head of the Ferrari team, Fred Vasseur, allegedly approached Hamilton, but the British driver, like Elkann, turned him down. Vasseur is rumored to have made Hamilton an offer. I won't deny it, Schmidt continued. I think Vasseur knows well that Lewis is not going anywhere, but he also has to make sure that Ferrari shows some dynamism. I also think Hamilton is quite smart. He knows very well that even if they pay him double in Maranello, things won't go any better there. Ferrari is not ahead of Mercedes as a car. And every problem at Mercedes would multiply at Ferrari because it is even more in the spotlight. Ferrari has previously refuted offering Hamilton a deal, though. Vasseur reportedly denied making the £40 million per year offer to Hamilton to join Ferrari, as reported by the Daily Mail earlier this year. You know that at this stage of the season, you will have each week a different story about driver changes, and we are not sending an offer to Lewis Hamilton. We didn't do it, he said. We didn't have discussions, he added. I think every single team on the grid would like to have Hamilton at one stage. It would be bullshit to not say something like this. If I have discussed with Hamilton, it's because I have had discussions with him for the last 20 years. I have discussed things almost every single weekend with Hamilton. I don't want to have to stop having discussions with him because you are chasing me about a contract offer. In a recent interview, Hamilton discussed his plans for the future of Formula One, admitting that there are some days when he questions if he can keep competing, given all of the travel requirements of the current season. But when he gets in the car, even though it may be as bumpy and challenging as the Mercedes W14 at times, that excitement returns to the same level as it did during his rookie season back in 2007, giving Hamilton the impression that he still has another 5 years to give. Honestly, I have moments where I'm like, I don't know if I can keep going, and that's just based on there is a lot of travel, said Hamilton. There's a lot of traveling. There's a lot of time away from all the sacrifices that people make in their careers and striking a balance between social life, family life, and career. Being the best you can be, something has to give. And the other two, which are the most important, take a hit. So I think about that often. But then I get into the paddock and I get in the car and I'm like, damn, I love this so much. I definitely get the same buzz as in 2007, I would say in last year's car, and this year's car, I get in with hype. And then you get in and you're like, damn it, it's bouncing, or you've got some sort of problem with the car. So it's not as enjoyable to drive, for example, as like the W8, Hamilton's 2017 title-winning Mercedes. But I can see myself being here still in 5 years' time, but it can change at any point. But Mike Elliott, who recently provided further information on the team's current situation, said that not just Hamilton is optimistic about the future. Last year, we made gradual progress through the season. We got ourselves into a position where we had some confidence over the winter, hoping to start the season in a better place. To find out we weren't was a kick in the teeth, but it's been good to see the recovery path. If you look where we started and where we are now, compared to Aston and Ferrari, we have made good progress. Our aim is to win championships. Unfortunately, we are not in that position this year, but we want to be next year. We've got to get that balance right between getting all the learnings we can with our current car and trying to put most of our effort into next year's car. Red Bull has a target on its back for next year, according to Toto Wolff, but it's unclear whether Mercedes can establish themselves as title competitors, a target that Hamilton wants to destroy. But the crucial query is, will Mercedes be able to challenge Red Bull the next year? Please share your expectations with us in the comments section below.